So the future of connected music, yeah, it's a big word, yeah, it's a big title. Yeah, actually we have already a lot of connected music. So I choose this opening image. It's an image from Arup, a design consultancy, about the future of connected devices and things, yeah, and how we're going to see that. So this is a sublimized, like, ideal type of world where we're heading into. Of course, this is a new build world. Yeah, so in Europe we have a lot of old cities. It's going to be a lot of older infrastructure also to update. But there's lots of, you know, new technologies coming our way, and they're going to change things really quickly. Yeah, so if you look at the image, you have your smart driving cars, self-driving trains, connected parkings, connected street lights, connected traffic lights, connected buildings, you know, air quality sensors, water quality sensors, able to measure things that we have never been able to measure before. So this will give us lots of new data and lots of new opportunities. So, but where's the music? Yeah. So music is going to be like water. Yeah, visionary quote from David Bowie from 15 years ago. Yeah, so music is going to be everywhere, and we're going to, you know, go into new experiences, new type of services to listen to music, to experience music, because music is what we love. Yeah, music is what makes our heart beat. So I'm going to give a short overview of, like, potential and opportunities in this area. So self-driving cars, yeah, no more worries of having to concentrate on the road. We will get new experiences in the car, able to experience music in a different way. So people will maybe also just work in a self-driving car. Yeah, but I think it's also about a lot of new experiences. So Spotify and Uber understood that already. Yeah, so if you listen to your Spotify list, you go in out, you can ask actually a cab or an Uber cab, and then get your music going in the car. Yeah, this young generation love this type of things. So here's an experience of a VR helmet, yeah, that you can actually enter into a virtual world with a VR helmet and a real car. Yeah, so experience the real driving car into a virtual world. Have a go. Yeah, and it goes on and on. So not to try on the highway or in the city, of course. But yeah, there's going to be tons of this type of experiences coming, actually moving into a mixed type of reality. So the Internet of Things, it's a big hype word. Yeah, so in Gartner's business consultancy, it's at rank #1 at the highest level of hypeness. Yeah, so which means, you know, the hype is going down, and then new services will be built along the way. So what it's going to take? It's going to take a while, because there's no infrastructure built yet. You know, the sensors are not there yet. They're just projects at the time. So, but if you look at, you know, where we come from, standalone computing in the 80s, distributed computing in the 90s, cloud computing, you know, in this, you know, 2000, and then we're moving into this area of ambient computing. Billions of users, billions of apps, billions of connected sensors. Yeah, so machine intelligence kicking in, artificial intelligence, which is going to generate tons of data. So in that data, most of that data is not used. You know, we can't make sense of it. It's basically useless data. But a lot of data we can make sense of it. And people who can see the value in the data, those are the wizards of the future. Data scientists, we call them also. They are the ones that companies are paying lots of money now, because they understand psychology of human behavior, and they can link that with data analysis. So there's going to be tons of this data, and tons of these new services also. That's why startups can pivot so quickly, because they have access to data. So the startups can try out things. If they don't work out immediately, they can shift, because they can see it doesn't work out, or they can see or detect a new opportunity and pivot. So companies who have not access or who have no access to data are totally nowhere in the future. I talk to a lot of clients, big corporations, and they have no access to data. They have no idea where they're heading. And there's no value extraction. There's going to be no interaction with your users or your consumers in the future. So for the consumer and the citizen, what does that mean if everything is connected? Now you know already we give out a lot of data to lots of services through the apps, to things we visit on the internet. So all these companies, they have lots of data of ourselves. So what does that mean? If everything is going to be connected, the machines are going to know more about ourselves than our best friends or our spouse. So we will have to go into a new era of contracts, contracts with brands, contracts with organizations of like, what type of data am I willing to give out? What do I get into return? So those are the questions of the future, and there's probably room for a platform now that will manage all my privacy and my settings. So let's go back to music and events, for example. Apps like YPlan, which is very popular in London, New York now. Not really sure in France, if this is accessible in France. But it gives you basically recommendations about your artist. So you can link it, for example, to a Spotify account. It will check all your Spotify artists, your preferences, and then when an artist is coming to town, it will give you an advance notice. You can buy your tickets, invite your friends, all from within the app. And so these type of apps will then also get linked to very specialized venues. All the venues will have to get an upgrade, serious upgrade. Installing new technology, to basically create seamless experiences for the users. It starts with ticketing, the moment you enter, with your phone, with your wearable, whatever, you can come in, it will check your ticket, to connecting to the artists, connecting to the community, to lots of merchandising and goodies or downloads that you can get, all through the app. But also experiences in the events. Look at this one. Sorry for the quality, it's filmed with a smartphone. So actually what happened is that the whole stadium is connected with beacons, 2,000 beacons, sensors, and also have Wi-Fi, 1,200 Wi-Fi access points, and it has a backbone into the internet of 45 gigabit. So this is one of the best connected stadiums in the world now. It's also where they do the Super Bowl and all that. But, this is Taylor Swift. Tells it all, it's about creating surprises during events. So sorry for the quality, but what the app did was actually connecting all the people in the audience and create light beams from the app, with different colors. Couldn't really see it here, sorry about that. The Scala in Milan, so we're here in an opera, but the Scala in Milan recently did a major upgrade, to connect the whole scenery and the whole event experience, to attract more a younger audience and to create also more interactive type of operas and spectacles. This is in the city of Changjiang, one of the smartest cities in the world in China. This is a park actually with 500 hubs. They're all connected to sound waves. So when you walk around, you can actually play with the sound and with music and songs. At night, it becomes a light bulb. Yeah, the more people that are present, the different the energy will be, and so on. And it goes with the movement. So there will be lots of new type of experiences in all different places, you know, discotheques, nightclubs, museums. This is Janne Parveyen. Yeah, so of that, you know, these type of imageryscapes and soundscapes, yeah, that will mimic virtual experiences. So musical instruments, yeah, if you go to crowdfunding platforms like Kickstarter or Indiegogo, you know, there's new instruments invented every day by young startups. This one, the Artiphon, can actually act as a drum machine, a bass, guitar, piano, even a violin, yeah, or a cello, which you can play with your smartphone as a strike. Yeah, it looks a bit silly, but those are the instruments that are being created now. So Jason Barnes is the first drummer with a bionic arm. I don't know if you heard about him, but his arm is actually, he lost his arm due to an accident where he was infected or in contact with electricity. And so they had to amputate his arm. So he was very depressed, but then he decided to actually get a bionic arm and to actually use the handicap and turned it into an asset. So he became, from an average drummer, he became the fastest drummer in the world. Yeah, so his arm is connected actually through sensoring devices that connect with his muscles. And then one of the sticks is actually the rhythm that he feels from his muscles, and then the second one is listening to the music and then actually improvising to that. So type his name in Google and check out his music. It's really, really nice. So what about these guys? Anybody heard about them? Set Machines? So this is the first robotic band in Japan. You can hire this band, yeah, and they will play the songs that you tell them to play. And it includes sponsor messages. Have a look. Yeah, he's actually saying, put your zoomer up. Put your zoomer up. Yeah, did you notice that the dancers couldn't follow the rhythm anymore? So they go up to 1000 BPMs. Yeah, so the guitar has 78 fingers in this guitar, and then the drummer can handle 22 drums at the same time. So yeah, kicks in artificial intelligence, probably one of the most defining technology for the next decade and beyond. Why? Because it's going to be more disruptive than anything else that we have known before. Yeah, it's going to change the whole landscape of many things again. Yeah, so I don't know if you heard or if you follow all the stories that are written. There's some really good books in there, but you know, artificial intelligence is definitely an area to follow. Yeah, so we are entering an era of real life science fiction. Everything we have known as a kid, you know, the Star Treks, tricoders, things that we dreamed of, are now possible. Nearly everything we think about, we can make and make it work. Yeah, so if you look at all the big players, they invested already heavily in artificial intelligence. Apple with Siri, Microsoft Cortana, IBM with Watson, Facebook M, Google with TensorFlow. So, and that is just the beginning. So we're entering this world of cognitive computing, yeah, where actually computation systems and software and algorithms can understand and learn from behavior, yeah, what they see in the networks, the neural networks. So they can also respond to it and act upon. Yeah, so as of now, you know, it's mainly an assistant for humans. Yeah, there's a whole new wave of startups coming out of Silicon Valley, which are using this type of technologies, which are called intelligent assistants. You will see lots of them next year already on the market. So, but I'll give a couple examples. ROS, for example, which is a software built on Watson, yeah, that is actually doing the work for attorneys, yeah, or legal persons or lawyers. So, and it can scan the entire law books of the world in a split second, yeah, and give, you know, the lawyer the possibility or the options of 1, 2, 3, 4 in a specific case. So all these hours of research that a lawyer was able to bill before or to invoice are now gone. And that's going to happen in many white-collar areas also, yeah? So it's not just, you know, the workforce or les ouvriers, as you said in French. It's also for employees, yeah, and people working on offices. Because everything that can be copied and that is repetitive tasks will be copied by robots or by artificial intelligence. Yeah, so here's another one. This is a company in Hong Kong, an investment company, that assigned one of its board members as an artificial intelligence. Yeah, it's a software, it's a machine, gets a board seat. Why? Because it can scan all the best opportunities for them, yeah, to invest in. So they have their knowledge, but they also consult him or the machine as to scan everything. You know, AI is already used a lot in Wall Street, you know, for investment companies and things like that. So it's going to be around more and more. And also in music. Look at this one.
Dylan, to improve my language skills, I've read all your lyrics.
You read all of my lyrics.
I can read 800 million pages per second.
That's fast.
My analysis shows your major themes are that time passes and love fades.
Well, that sounds about right.
I have never known love.
Maybe we should write a song together.
I can sing.
You can sing?
Bebop-a-doo. Doobie-doobie-doo. Do.
So yeah, IBM is launching this big campaign. They opened up the whole system to, you know, any type of startup to start working with this huge, phenomenal resource, yeah, online. So, but lots of music startups are already using artificial intelligence. Spotify, for example, I've been working in music recommendations like 10 years ago with a company called Strands in Spain that sold its IP to Apple. So one of my biggest frustrations was like, you know, why it was never perfect. You know, music recommendation was never perfect. But now, due to these new technologies, it becomes really good. Yeah. So, and if you check Spotify weekly, it gets recommendations, or you get recommendations based on your history, your listening habits, your mood that you're in at specific hours, and it gets a lot better. It gets really good, actually. So, talking about the music industry, you know, moving from this old industrial era towards this new dynamic digital era, it's a mess, yeah? I don't know how many people of you work in the music industry here, but it's, you know, be honest, you know, it's a mess. You know, there's still the people in power, the old record companies trying to hold on, still with their back catalog, and then there's a new generation of musicians coming in that are using the new tools. Yeah, so with all due respect, you know, to Tom York, but lots of the artists, you know, that were there before, that made tons of money, make now little money. Yeah, because it's time for a new generation, as it has always been in music. Yeah, so now this new generation of pop culture, you know, are using, you know, these new channels, YouTube, Facebook, social media, you know, all this fast video type of things like Vine and Snapchat and Meerkat, yeah, because that's where the eyeballs go. Yeah, they have like 500 million views. 500 million views. That's a lot. So, and this is just starting because the predictions are that the streaming business is going to go up. Yeah, we're just here in 2015. Yeah, so as more people get connected, there will be more and more streaming services also. However, this might not be enough, yeah, to support the whole ecosystem of musicians. But there are a lot of new tools available and new opportunities that will be coming. So I think musicians also need to act more as startups. Yeah, so you have the musicians, but you also have the CEO, you have somebody technical, maybe technical team, and so that can actually work well and position well in this new type of economy. Kicks in Willard Aldrich from Cobalt. This is now the software that acts as a publishing company based on artificial intelligence and tracking everything online for artists, straight for artists. It tracks every Facebook like, every YouTube view, every Spotify listening, every download, everything that's happening online, and puts it into clear numbers for the artist, bypassing, you know, what record companies have been telling to artists for a long time, which is often not the truth, yeah, that they were not making money in digital. Well, there's tons of money in digital. Imogen Heap, she recently published her music on the blockchain. Blockchain, which is the underlying technology of Bitcoin, but which gives the opportunity to an artist to be very transparent and to instantly share the revenues with writers, musicians, publishers, and, you know, even record labels. So if you look even at Kickstarter, there's like over $500,000 raised last year into projects for music or musicians. The rest is raised in video and film as a second most popular crowdfunding investment. So there's all new tools, new platforms, new rules, you know, of how do you function as a musician in this new economy. And there will be more opportunities also as more and more gets connected. If you go into the smart home, now it's all systems that are interconnected, that are not really connected. We have our sound system, we have the, you know, films, we have our temperature or light system. They're all different systems. So ideally we're going to go to one hub that's going to connect to all the technology in our home. Yeah, Google is already doing that with OnHub. Yeah, they're going, it's now a Wi-Fi router, but it becomes more and more a system also positioned to become your hub in the house. Hardware robots like Yibu or Amazon Echo, which are actually become the center in your home to interact with. Yeah, so it's going to be voice driven, which is going to be the new interaction mode of the future. And you can ask it anything, you know, it can be something you check on Google, play some music, look up for a recipe for the kitchen and things like that. And this is going to be the mode for the future. Yeah, and to new type of gadgets that we will use. This one in Japan is called Robohome, which is a small robot that actually acts as a mobile phone. I'll give you a short video.
メールだよ。
読み上げて。
来週の日曜日って暇？だって。
うん、日曜日暇だよ。
おはよう、朝だよ。今日はサーフィンに行く予定だよ。で映すね。
タクシー呼んで。
オッケー、配車完了。タクシー。
Yeah, so as hardware becomes cheaper and cheaper, you will see lots of this type of devices coming on the market. They will become very intelligent, they will act like pets and have all the technology integrated. So as a summary, so even if we go into this world of more and more technology with lots of robots around us, automatization, more technology around us, I think it's important also, especially for people who create or who are in music, to keep creating, keep innovating, listen to your heart, innovate from the heart, because that's where the real innovation happens. I wanted to close with a short music piece from Square Pusher, who's actually using the same band, the Z Machines, but who composed, a sensitive musical piece.